Well, if there is one thing that makes marathon training disproportionately hard, or certainly harder than it needs to be, it is switching time zones. Welcome to Cincinnati, and welcome to PKS Runs. So, welcome to PKS Runs, folks. My name is Paul, and I'm a 2:45 marathoner. I am 5 weeks exactly away from the London Marathon. I'm aiming for a 2:40, and been tracking the journey on the channel, highs, lows, and everything in between. And this week I find myself in Cincinnati. I flew in last night from London. I fly home tomorrow night. So this weekend I am just trying to juggle tiredness, exhaustion. I'm getting a bit of a run in today, but no real pace or time expectations. Just gonna see how we go. If this is your first time on the channel, big welcome to you. I'm glad you found me. I'm also on Instagram and on TikTok at PKS Runs. You can also find me on Strava, and you can find the PKS Running Club on Strava as well. If you wouldn't mind just liking and subscribing, hit the bell button so that you don't miss any future content, find out how I actually get on in the London Marathon, I would be most appreciative. So this week has been a funny old week. I have really been out of routine. It started on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. I had to deliver a lecture to some students at the University of Texas. Obviously I delivered that lecture online, but that meant that I was up at 1 AM because it was an evening class for them. So that has messed up the routine this week. I was in London on Friday night because I was flying Saturday morning, and obviously now I'm here in Cincinnati. So what am I doing here in Cincinnati? Well, I have got a pretty important work meeting tomorrow, a sales meeting. Why have I travelled all this way for a meeting? Well, nothing beats getting in the room with a prospective client, and when you have been invited to come, you come. So I am here for a 48-hour trip. Don't start getting the wrong idea. I'm not one of these high-flying business class travelers. I was sitting in economy, not even economy premium. On Friday, Heathrow was closed. There was a fire. My what was going to be quite a quiet looking flight was absolutely chock-a-block, so I didn't even get to stretch out. On this trip, I am doing the wise thing. I'm not going anywhere near sugary treats. Honestly, I don't actually have the time. I'm here for such a small amount of time, and I'm just going to prioritize sleep. I am out for this run this morning, then I'm going to go back to my room. I've got some work to do. I'm going to get out for an early dinner, and I'm just going to go to bed early. Don't need to worry about time zones. I'm just going to focus on sleep. Last night I got 10.5 hours sleep. I got into bed on arrival at the hotel at about 8:30 and slept through till whenever 10.5 hours later was. This week has been a great week training wise. I started out on Monday with a faster than usual run. I'd had a rest day on Sunday, legs felt good, and I decided to pick up the pace of it. That was about sub 3 hour marathon pace. I'll put the times and the actual run on the screen. Then on Wednesday I had a later run in the day. As I said, my routine was broken, so I didn't get up and go for the gym early morning. I got up at lunchtime and went then. Sorry, I didn't get up at lunchtime, I got out at lunchtime. And in the evening I did an interval session, and I didn't even look at what my plan was prescribing. I made up something for myself, and I'm pretty pleased with it because it went incredibly well. I did 20 lots of 400 meters off 90 seconds, and the first 10 of those 90 seconds I jogged, so afloat, and the last 10 reps I walked, and I pretty much hit those paces the whole way, my interval paces, which I was so pleased about. Actually got a very similar level of volume. I think there was some really solid work done there, but I didn't really feel like I absolutely killed myself in the process, which I have done the last couple of weeks. So I was very happy with that. Now, why do 400 meters? Why cut it down? Surely the marathon is all about a long distance race, and you know, it's a whole different experience. Well, at the end of the day, if you can improve your raw speed, your raw power, it all counts, it all works. But I think it was really beneficial. I was seeing my heart rate get nice and high, and it was recovering nicely during the rest periods. I'd say probably after about 5 reps I was willing the workout to finish, but by the end I was loving it. My paces for the final 4 splits were much faster than at the start, which was brilliant. So negative splits overall. Worth just noting, as I always do, as I left my hotel room this morning, I had completed 58 miles. If I could get 12 miles out today, that would be fantastic. That would get me to a nice even 70. I think the target on the plan is about 80, but look, at this point I'm pretty chilled about the whole thing. So what will be will be. I certainly don't want to push it whilst I'm feeling tired, whilst I am drained from a day of travelling yesterday. Let's talk about Friday night. Friday night I had immense fun. As I said, I was travelling up to a hotel at Heathrow Airport on Friday. My friend Nick from the gym had told me about an event on Friday night called Friday Night Lights, and we agreed to meet there. It's a social running group focused around fun and music and lights, and so Nick and I met up there and we went for a run, and it was immense fun.
So I've got my flashing light stick here, well out of my comfort zone right now, let me tell you, but I'm doing this for you. Enjoy.
As you can see, that was a real party atmosphere, and oh yeah, I just thoroughly enjoyed it. It really was great just to run around some of the streets of London, going past some of the places that I will be running on marathon day. Nothing like that to get the excitement going. I ran there from Victoria Station, and I ran back to Victoria Station at the end of the night. Hence why I'm so tired, actually, because I didn't get to bed that night until, well, I didn't get to the hotel till about 11:30, and then I was up at 6 again the following morning to get up and get to the airport. So yeah, I am running on fumes a little bit this morning, but ended up doing 11 or 12 miles that night, It really was fun. Well, it's been a few miles since I was on camera. I've been struggling, I've been bored. My legs feel incredibly tired. I was running on a pretty soulless road along the river. Once I got out of downtown, there was very little going on, and I have decided to ditch safety of doing a straight out and back run, and I am now exploring. I took a left, went up a very, very long hill, and I'm now in the middle of who knows where, and I'm just running, and it takes away the distraction from the tired legs. I mean, look, I spent all day sitting on a plane yesterday. I think I did 3,000 steps. That was in the terminal, but my legs are absolutely goose today. So adventuring definitely makes it easier. Just a bit of mental stimulus, seeing different things, seeing all American houses, churches to a penny, and well, very few people. I've seen a few runners, but yeah, this is fun. I do find running is just a great way of adventuring, great way to see cities, see new places. Next week I'm in Barcelona with my mum and dad and 3 sisters for my dad's 80th birthday, and there's going to be a lot of running, just basically so I don't have to spend time with them. I'm only saying that because I know they'll be watching this, so I know my mum will. I can't wait to spend time with you, mum and dad. But it's a great way to see the city. So here I am exploring Cincinnati, famous for its chili, the Cincinnati Bengals sports team, and who knows what else. It is actually 5 weeks today, the marathon. I can't believe it is almost on us, and oh, I'm really excited. I think Friday Night Lights, running with other people who are hyped and enthusiastic, and people out on the streets cheering us on, really gave me that glimmer of what it's going to feel like to run through the streets of London. And interestingly, on the run to the Friday Night Lights, my legs were goosed. They were really tired. On the run afterwards, they were really tired. On the run itself, I felt like $1 million. And that is the impact of running with other people, running with the pack. I've talked about that before. So yeah, that just makes me really excited. And that all reminds me that my other important run of the week was on Thursday morning. I went out for a post-gym run with new coach at Watergate, Coach Kaylee, who is a triathlete, former England swimmer, very, very fit. And we did some miles along the river, and again, another really, really brilliant testing case of how running with someone else just increases what you're capable of. On my run to the gym, I promise you I could barely get past 11-minute miles. I was so tired, my legs were so heavy, and yet was able to comfortably cruise at 8-minute miles with Kaylee. Now, why are my legs so tired? Because 12 hours earlier I had done that absolutely punishing interval session, so it was only natural that my legs were going to feel tired. But with someone else with me, I was able to power through, and that's encouraging. Here I am in a lovely little place. I don't know where I am, but I'm somewhere, and it's lovely. And all because I took a risk and I adventured. How am I going to get back to my hotel? I don't know. It doesn't really matter at this point. I'm out enjoying running. Can't say much for the lift today. 7 miles in, and I found a park worth adventuring. This is just a little bit nicer. I don't know what the park is. Looks like there's some sort of winter gardens down there. This is the Presidential Grove according to the sign back there, but we're still going. This is a lot more interesting than running along the river. 8 miles in, and look at these magnolia trees coming into bloom. Very beautiful. I reckon if I was here a week later, this would be awash with colour, but still super inspiring and super beautiful. Just saw a sign that said Mirror Lake this way, and if there's two things I love, it's mirrors and lakes. So what a combination. Well, Mirror Lake is a little underwhelming. One, man-made. I don't mind man-made lakes, but this is ugly. 2, hasn't got a lot of water in it. 3, just very disappointing. Hey ho, we carry on running. Well, I think I've said all I can say today. I am going to just wind my way back to the hotel. I know that the river's this way, so if I find the river, I'll find my hotel. Well, my hotel isn't on the river, it's somewhere in downtown. But if I find the river, I'll find downtown. And if I find downtown, then I'm halfway there. So thanks for watching. 5 weeks until the London Marathon. Don't forget, like and subscribe so that you keep up to date with the journey. What a journey it's been. If I could take one thing from this week, I think it's this. I have just strung 2 positive weeks back to back, and that is a great victory. Feeling good mentally. 2 weeks on the bounce hasn't happened for ages, so yes for that. See you next week.